Hi guys, welcome to the video on geometric applications. Alright, so you don't have a note sheet. All you're going to be doing is just taking notes on what I write down on this video. Alright, so geometric applications is basically taking what you've learned with polynomials and applying them to geometric things. Okay, so we're going to do a really quick example. So let's say you have got this triangle. And what do we know about triangles? We know, first of all, that a triangle has three sides. We also know that if you add up all three of their angles added up together give you 180 degrees. It doesn't matter what kind of triangle it is, it's always equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so let's say that this angle is 50 degrees and this angle is 60 degrees. And then I say, okay, what is this third angle? What would you do? Well, I know that in your brains you're thinking, okay, I know if the whole thing is 180, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take 50 and I'm going to add 60 to it. That gives me 110 degrees. I know that the whole triangle is 180, so if I take 180 and I subtract 110, I'm left with 70. So that means that this angle has to be 70 degrees. Right? Makes sense. 70 plus 50 plus 60 is 180. Okay, so if I were to give you any triangle, I think you would be able to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you an example, and I want you to just go ahead and try it. Okay? All right. So you've got a triangle, so go ahead and draw a triangle on your paper. Oh, I wasn't supposed to erase that. Okay, so draw a triangle on your paper. Here we go, triangle. All right. And I'm going to tell you the angles. Let's see, this is 67 degrees. This one is 30, let's do 34 degrees. And I want to know what this one is. Okay? So go ahead and solve that. Go ahead and pause it, solve it, and then come back and we'll do it. Alright, so you should have done exactly like last time. We know that everything is 180, so really what we're going to do is we know that the total triangle is 180 degrees, okay? And from that, we're going to subtract the sum of those two angles, so 67 plus 34, okay? So that gives us 180 degrees minus 67 plus 34 is 101 degrees, right? So if you take 180 and subtract 101, you get 79 degrees. So that means that this angle is 79 degrees. All right, so that is easy. Let's do it using polynomials, which is what we've been doing. All right, so we have got same triangle, and I'm going to give you the three angles. Okay, so let's say instead of a number, we're going to say that the angles have polynomials for values. So this one right here, let's do an easy one. This one is 3x plus 4, right? And this one is 7x minus 3, right? So that's angle 1. That is angle 2. All right, we want to know this one. All right, so think about the last example that we did. The only thing that we've changed is that we've taken our angle measures and we've made them as polynomials. Right? You're still going to follow the same process. Right? You're still going to add together the two angles that you know and subtract it from 180. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. We're starting with 180. Right? And we're going to subtract the sum of 3x plus 4 and 7x minus 3. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm taking 3x plus 4, I'm taking this number right here, I'm taking my 3x plus 4, and I'm adding it to my 7x plus or 7x minus 3. All right, so that gives me 180 minus 3x plus 7x is 10x, and then 4 minus 3 is positive 1. All right, So now that we're at this part right here, right, you can leave it like that, and that's what it's asking you for. It's asking you to solve the problem and leave it as a polynomial. So our answer is 100 minus the polynomial 10x plus 1. Now we can't solve that because we don't know what x is, but you could write it like that, and when I told you what x was, then you could go ahead and plug it in. Alright, so I'm going to do another one, and I want you to go ahead and do this one on your own. Okay, and then pause it and check it. So this angle is 2x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, and this angle is negative 4x squared plus x minus 3. All right, oops. And we want to know what this angle is right here. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and work that one out. Set it up with a 180 minus whatever you're doing, and then come back and check. Alright, so this is how you should have set it up. You should have had 180 minus the sum of those two angles. So negative 4x squared plus x minus 3 plus 2x squared plus 2x minus 1. Alright, so everything inside these parentheses I'm going to go ahead and combine, that if I can combine them. Alright, negative 4x squared and positive 2x squared gives me negative 2x squared. And then x and 2x gives me 3x. And then I've got negative 3 and negative 1, which is negative 4. Alright, so now our answer is 180 minus the polynomial negative 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now you could change that to addition if you wanted to, but this is sufficient for your final answer. Alright, now we're going to talk about rectangles. Okay, so let's say, first of all, you know things about rectangles. You know that this side is congruent to that side, and this side is congruent to that side. That's something that you should already know about rectangles. Okay, now let's say I told you that the perimeter was 12, okay, and the length of this side was 2, and I want to know what is the length of that side. What would you do to figure it out? Well, what you would do is, you know that if this one is 2, this one has to be 2, right? Okay, and you know that these two are equivalent. Okay, so to figure that out, you would add up 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. So you know that this side plus this side has to be 4. Okay, so if you know your total perimeter is 12, you would subtract 4 from that, and you know that you have 8 left over. So that means that this side and this side added together have to be 8. So that means that each one of those sides has to be 4. So this would be 4, and this would be 4, which makes sense because 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8, and plus 4 is 12. So that's this answer right here. Alright, so now again, let's go ahead and do it with polynomials. Okay, so let's say we've got our rectangle. Alright, rectangle. Okay, and we know that the perimeter is, and you know what, I changed my mind. We're going to go ahead and do a triangle. Well, let's do that. Let's go back. Let's do a triangle. It's going to be a little bit easier. Okay, triangle, 3 sides. Okay, we know that the perimeter is, let's just do an easy one. The perimeter is 12x minus 2. Okay, and we know that one side is 2x minus 3. The other side is 4x plus 4, and we want to know the length of that side. So we know that the perimeter is this side plus this side plus this side, right? When we add those three together, we should get this, the 12x minus 2. All right, so if we don't know that side, we're going to take the 4x plus 4, and to that we're going to add 2x minus 3. So when you add those together, you get 4x plus 2x, which is 6x, and 4 minus 3 is 1. All right, so 6x plus 1 is the sum of those two sides. We know that if we add that third side, we should get 12x minus 2. So in order to do that, we know that 12x minus 2, oops, let me do that again, 12x minus 2, and if we subtract those other two sides, that's going to give us our answer. So now we can actually simplify this one more. So we know our rule is that we are going to, the subtraction sign tells us to take the opposite of everything on the inside. So this turns out to be 12x minus 2, and then the opposite of positive 6x is negative 6x, and the opposite of positive 1 is negative 1. So now I'm going to combine 12x and negative 6x is 6x, and negative 2 and negative 1 is negative 3, right? So that means I'm saying that the answer to this is 6x minus 3. Okay, let's go ahead and check that and see if that's right. I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and then we're going to go ahead and double check. So we know if it's correct, we're saying that 4x plus 2x plus 6x is 12x, and then 4 minus 3 is 1, and then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So when I added those three sides together, I got 12x minus 2. Okay, now the sheet that you guys have is has some more examples of this, so I just wanted to give you a brief example on how to use your geometric applications. Basically, your goal is to just solve the problem without polynomials first so that you can see what the structure is, and then just go back and plug in the polynomials the way it is. It's not that difficult, okay? So go ahead and give it a try, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks. You guys have a good rest of your day.